The first of the 5 approaches that sociologists take to culture is the one that has the deepest roots, that is, culture as an all-pervasive way of life. As early as the 19th century, as the discipline of sociology and anthropology were getting started, both of these disciplines adopted culture to mean a distinctive and all-pervasive way of life. Most of what humans do, they said, is a product of learning and not genetically given. And as a result, there are opportunities for variation in interpreting events and behaviors, and those opportunities are almost infinite, and we see that across a multitude of different societies. So having a common culture provides us with a shared set of taken for granted understandings about our social world and how we should live in it. Sharing a common culture means that we learn not just a common language, but with that language, a common set of taken for granted assumptions about how the social world actually works. Instincts are complex patterns of behavior that are genetically reprogrammed and that regulate the activities of members of species. Instinctual behaviors tend to be found in all members of a species, and they're innate, but humans, for the most part, lack the kind of instincts that other animals possess. However, we do have culture, and we share that culture with others in our society. Having a shared culture enables all members of a given society to access a set of understandings about how and why the world works in the way it does. In this definition, culture is seen as an entire way of life of a given society that includes both material artifacts and values and beliefs, everything that an individual needs to be a fully functional member of society. Most social scientists accept this definition. At least they did so up until the 1970s. From this perspective, culture is understood as being both unitary and internally consistent across all groups and situations comprising any given society. Furthermore, members of a given society are thought to acquire their culture through the process of socialization and to subsequently enact their culture in relatively unproblematic ways. Now, critiques developed a more dynamic view of culture during the 1970s and the 1980s. According to the scholars in these decades, culture serves as the material out of which people's daily lives are constructed and how their daily experiences are understood and interpreted. So for them, culture serves as the bricks and mortars out of which individuals actively construct their interrelations with and understandings of the world they inhabit. Culture has come to be understood as a set of mechanisms that humans actively employ on a moment-by-moment basis and a means by which the reality is actively defined. So it's no longer a thing, a static outcome, rather it's viewed as a dynamic process, something we use to construct responses to specific situations.